Right, folks, well, a very special edition of the High Noon Report with me, Pugs Moran, as typically heard Monday through Friday at noon, right here on the Radio Misfits podcast and live streaming platform. I am Pugs Moran, and we've got a very special, evening rant for you. I was just looking at a story, and it's got me going. You know how it gets me going. I would like to just put a little something out there into the ethosphere. We talk about this. I don't know if you saw this story. A 12-year-old kid, 12-year-old boy in Colorado Springs at the Vanguard School. He was pulled out of class, and apparently this is not the first time he's been pulled out of class for this. This seems to be an ongoing thing. You see, the problem why this young man is being deprived of his, well, actually, I think it's a private school. We're going to look into that. The reason he's being pulled out of class is because his backpack that he chooses to wear has a patch on it. Just as many kids have backpacks, many kids put patches on them backpacks. And my 14-year-old son has a backpack, and he's got a couple patches on it. I don't think that they speak to anything awful or particularly interesting about him. He's just a kid, and that's what kids do. However, in this case, the patch in question is the Gadsden flag. The Gadsden. Do we all know what the Gadsden flag is? Let me show you what that is, just so we have it up and we understand exactly what we're talking about. I am interested to know, when you see this flag, when you first lay your eyes on it, what is your feeling on it? What do you think this flag is? Here it is. The "Don't Tread on Me." The I'm telling you, there are very few things in this world more American than the Gadsden flag. Now, I know a lot of D-bags been running around. Look, you cannot let D-bags win. Just because, and here's what I think is the problem with the Gadsden flag. Because first of all, as it turns out, nobody knows what it is. There is this narrative about its origin story that is absolutely incorrect. And it's part of the reason why this young man was taken out of class. Okay, we don't need American Armed Forces music the entire time. So there you go. That's the Gadsden flag. Let's watch the video. Let's watch the video and let's break the video down. The video is, it's going viral right now. And that's the reason why I wanted to jump on here and start talking about it. Here it is. This is a 12-year-old boy, Jaden, I believe is his name. Jaden is another one of these Jadens. Oh my God. But he's a white one. Typically that's a black guy name. Jaden is a black guy name. This is a white Jaden. I think it's Jaden. I don't know. There he is. Look at him. Good-looking young man, straight A's. He's an honor student. This kid ain't no dummy. But guess what? People who are teaching him are. Yeah, we'll watch. We're going to break this down. Here you go. This is as recorded by mom. The mom is rightfully a little bit upset by this. As recorded by mom, here it is. Young Jaden being sat down. Is it Jaden? I got to make sure it's Jaden. We'll watch it, but we'll break it down as well. Young Jaden being pulled out of class, and now the teacher, or I guess this is someone from the school administration, is explaining the schools here at the Vanguard School, explaining the school's policy on why he's not allowed to get an education because of the patch on his backpack.
Do they know what the Gadsden flag is? That's a historical flag.
So the reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed, is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade. That is what was.
Okay. Now this is what I love. So the official school policy of the Vanguard School, very, very fancy school, private school, one of the best ranked schools in all of Colorado. The policy at the Vanguard School is we don't allow our students to wear the Gadsden flag because of its origins with the slave trade. Here's what I love about the video, and we'll play it back again for you. Watch when the bureaucrat, if you will, and I'll get into her. I'm not going to tear her apart because she's a bureaucrat. She's got a paycheck. She's got rent. She's doing a job. Yes, she is sitting there and saying things, coming off like a programmed robotic idiot. But come on. He who hath not sinned, right? I mean, we've all had jobs and done stuff in our jobs. Anyway, point is this. Here's what I want you to watch on this. When she starts to explain about what the Gadsden flag is and how its origins are in the Civil War and slave trade. Ugh. Look at Jaden. Look at the. As a matter of fact, just watch the video, but just watch Jaden. He's like sitting courtside at a tennis match, just watching his mom slice and dice this idiot. But the minute she says it's origins in the slave trade, he like turns to his mom and he gives his mom a look like, "Get him, mom. Get him. You know, this woman's a dummy. Get him, mom." All right, let's watch this again. Here we go.
Due to its origins with slavery and
Look at little Jake.
slave trade. That is what was, as the reasoning behind the not slave.
The Gadsden flag.
The don't tread on me.
Okay. Which is the Gadsden flag.
Okay, so that's very important right there from the administration's point of view. This woman, she separates the Christopher Gadsden's flag. She separates that flag with the don't tread on me. So we know, we saw it. We saw the flag. It's the coiled up snake with the don't tread on me, okay? Somehow she thinks don't tread on me. Look at the way she goes, like she can't even say it. Don't tread on me is emblematic of the American spirit going all the way back to the not Civil War, excuse me, that's the problem, the Revolutionary War. Now, as I said earlier, I've seen a lot of D-bags, a lot of guys acting like complete a-holes, and they're running around with that flag and they're running around with the t-shirt, "Don't tread on me!" And so just because that happens, what, we common, normal people in this country have to cede that flag, that great symbol of America and liberty? We have to cede that because a bunch of douchebags are running around. You know what I mean? No, you got to fight for it. I'll tell you what happened here in Colorado Springs at this school. They saw that, I don't know, some school board member, I don't know, maybe some, actually it's not school board because it's private school. So this would be like somebody in the faculty who probably, they hired from back east, something like. They came there and they just, I don't know, watched the news and somehow they're dumb because they're the drama teacher or something. They're not even a history teacher, just like some drama teacher who rose through the ranks at this private elitist school. He's got it in his head that that's somehow, a racist thing, that it's a Nazi thing. Well, it's not, you idiots. Back to the video.
Okay, so that's
the look I love from Jared. Watch this. So she has just established, the bureaucrat, the administrator, she has just established that she doesn't know what the Gadsden flag is and that her brain has just got the scramblies because of Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and Twitter and all this nonsense. Again, we normal people have to make sure. What are you going to take the statue? What is the Statue of Liberty going to suddenly become a symbol of the Hollywood left? We can't like the Statue of Liberty anymore. Why not? Do you know how many cool people have read? Do you know how many times the Gadsden flag has been represented in just like as sort of a branding context clue for some cool character in a movie or a TV show? I don't understand how this school in Colorado Springs thinks it's a bad thing. Although, yeah, that is my favorite thing. So they've established that the bureaucrat doesn't know what she's talking about. And the kid is like, yeah. And just watch the kid's face here over the next couple of seconds. And I'm going to let it play and we'll all discuss it. By that, I mean, I will, and you'll listen.
Okay. So he's what's going to happen if he doesn't take it off?
He is able to go. I was actually just telling him, like, I was upset that he was missing so much school.
She's upset he's missing school.
I asked if can he just take his stuff out of his bag and go back to class.
I
just want him to go back to class.
Backpack can't go back. He can, the backpack can't.
You can't have that in and around other kids. So that's what I was trying to, and then he said you were close. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with slavery. That's like the Revolutionary War patch that was displayed when they were fighting the British. Like that.
It's like, I don't know. I'm a programmed robot, and I'm just I'm the low one on the totem pole that they send in to talk to parents. So, you're talking school and learning stuff, and, I don't know anything about that. I'm just the administrator at an elite private school. She doesn't know. She's waving off the facts. This is, I hate breaking people down into right and left, but it was Kellyanne Conway who introduced the phrase alternative facts, right? And it sort of became a line for liberals or whoever we're looking at that side of the bench to sort of demean anything they thought. Well, they have alternative facts. These are alternative facts. And this strikes me as a very progressive learning environment at the private. And this is probably the kinds of policies that are being, this happened, at a meeting. You're like, what we should do? I was watching Rachel Maddow last night, and they were talking about how the Gadsden flag has been corrupted by, and they said, let's make it so kids can't wear the and now we've got this kid. He's walking into school and he's in trouble. It's a stupid rule. Let's keep watching.
That's the revolution. Maybe you're thinking of like.
It's a revolution. She's explaining this is a Revolutionary War thing.
Confederate flag?
Okay,
Not Civil War.
I am just here to enforce. No, I am here to enforce the policy that was.
It was designed to intimidate anyone that might try and challenge our right to liberty and freedom. That's what South Carolina delegate to the Continental Congress, Christopher Gadsden, had in mind when he created this flag for himself. The flag was so cool. It was like by 1775 standards. Hey man, cool flag. That was like a big deal because you didn't have cars and stuff. You couldn't be like, hey man, cool phone. But it was a cool flag because everybody had flags. Everybody. Check it out in history. Even poor people, they had flags. So it was a cool flag. And some general or some admiral or something saw it and took it from him. He was like, I'm going to use this flag in battle. And then the Marines started using it. And then some dude became Secretary of the Navy and he made it his personal flag on his flag. It has been a symbol of American independence, American liberty, America not taking S from England anymore. That's what that flag is. And just because a couple of idiots in the last few years have done some pretty bad things while wearing Gadsden flag t-shirts, it doesn't mean that we have to just give up and go, oh, that's right, we got to ban that flag. No. There was a time in my life when I had that flag hanging in an apartment bedroom. I did. And I'm not crazy. Well, ask my ex-wives. But you know what I mean? I mean, like, as far as politics and all that stuff goes, I'm a pretty middle of the road. I think the Trump people are nuts. I think the Antifa people are nuts. I think that there's a bunch of us here in the middle that need to start talking about these things reasonably. And what I am begging right now is that we don't give up this flag. This flag is not for them on the right or them on the left. This flag is for all of us. It represents the American spirit.
Provided by the district. And definitely you have every right to not agree with it. I mean,
because the ACLU says that he's allowed to wear that.
Right, now she's throwing down the ACLU.
Like says in big letters.
All I'm saying is that
unless there's like a ban on patches, period. Like if you said there's no patches allowed at the school, you cannot display what you think or anything like that or what.
All right. So mom's now saying.
I think
you got to ban all patches if you're going to ban just this one. Well, why is your interpretation of what this ban or what this patch represents law?
The American flag on their backpacks.
Yeah, that was like flown during the Revolution with.
See, now she's giving her a history lesson about how it's a Revolutionary War flag, not a Civil War flag.
What I can do is
if you go onto the ACLU's website, let's talk to someone. I don't want to lawsuit.
All right, she's done. All right, the administrator is done. She realizes she doesn't really know anything about this flag, and then she's up against somebody who's obviously done the homework, and she needs to now shut up because, oh yeah, this whole thing's being recorded.
I can have you speak to Jeff Yoakum.
So she's passing the ball. Can I also say this? If you're one of these people who agree with these folks in the school, and I'm sure you're lovely in many other ways, and I would never dare to define you by your least attractive quality, and that would be one of them, I'm sure. If you have a problem with this kid wearing the Gadsden flag, then you better have a problem. You better have a problem with people who are wearing rainbow flags or pride flags or a BLM flag. I mean, boy, you want to talk about being provocative, because if you only have a problem with this flag, then you're ridiculous. Then you're not a serious person. And we can't have a conversation about this issue because, first of all, that's hypocritical. You're all over the road there. We must ban the flag that represents the people that I personally do not like. Can't do that. We can't do that. You know that. You know we can't do that unless you don't. And if you don't, then you're not in the middle with the rest of us reasonable people.
Then he can refer you to.
So they're passing the
members of
buck.
the district.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we're following district policy, is what we're doing. So, the last thing I want is him out of class.
Yeah,
That's all I
No.
He takes
I
his
want.
classes serious.
That's the last thing we want. But our egos won't allow us to admit that, this is pretty silly and that we should just shrug it off and let him go back to class. No, we're dug in on this because that's all everybody does now is dig in. So, if he wants to go back to class without the backpack, he can. And that's where it ends.
He studies, he wants to get straight A's, he did that. He made honor roll when he was here before. He intends to do that again right now, but it's hard because he keeps missing classes.
You guys been looking at the little baby toes?
So,
Oh,
I
baby
understand
toes.
that.
Are you kidding me?
And I mean, we teach him to
I
always
said
stick
that
up for your beliefs.
because she just took
And-
the baby
and
toes
you're going
away.
over the
Bring the
revolution
baby
in
toes
the
back.
7th grade.
Little bitty baby
And the
toes.
founding fathers stood up for what they believed in.
This
against
is
unjust
this is
laws. This is unjust.
like a baby seat. Look at the little baby foot. Come on, baby toes. Come on, babies. Oh, baby toes.
Okay, can you show me where the policy?
Baby wants to go. All right, so that's how it was. The kid was wearing a Gadsden flag. Again, if you're unfamiliar with what the Gadsden flag, it's this thing right here. I used to have one hanging in my bedroom. I mean, what's the problem? I don't get it. I always thought of it as, when I see this flag, I think of Ben Franklin, right? I think of the founding fathers. I don't think of a bunch of Confederate generals, but for some reason, these people in Colorado do. All right, here's an interesting thing. Here's someone we should know because this is good. Thank you. Not all politicians, stay with the political expected, remarks and all that stuff because the governor of Colorado has gotten involved in this. Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado, he one of them liberal governors. That's right. He's a liberal governor. And guess what? He says this is absolutely absurd. Let's get a look at this guy. Look at him. Good for you. Good for you, you liberal Rocky Mountain legal weed governor. Yeah. Here's why he's cool. Here, let me pull this up. Yeah, this is Fox News puts this out. Fox News, man, they're so divisive. They have to lead with Democratic Colorado governor calls Gadsden flag proud symbol of American Revolution. Democratic Colorado. It's like, cause what? Cause what? The Gadsden flag, it's surprising that a Democrat would know what the Gadsden flag is. Fox, what are you doing? Democrat. I mean, that's the only reason they made his political. I'm telling you, here's what should happen in this country. You want to fix the news, CNN? How about we do this? How about every time you have some politician on, how about instead of putting a D or an R next to their name, you just put nothing? How about it's a poker game, people. These people have messages, right? How about you let these people just talk and give their message and let the audience kind of go, well, I don't know if I agree with him or not because I don't have the cheat sheet of the D or the R. Because you see, people see that. This guy, Democratic Colorado governor, Fox News says, people see the D or the R in front of a talking head's name on the news and immediately decide whether or not what they're saying is true or not. And they don't listen to it. They just immediately decide, oh, well, of course, look at him. He's a Democrat. What is he? Is he even white? Yeah, you know what I mean? Or it's like, oh, this guy, this racist with the R. The R stands for racist. See, that's what we do. So how about news? We get rid of those tells. How about we drop them? How about we make everybody actually just sit and listen to these people and decide, I kind of like that. Democratic Governor Jared Polis calls the Gadsden flag a proud symbol of the American Revolution. This as reported by Fox News tonight. After being urged to respond to the news that a young student at a Colorado charter school was kicked out of class for having a Gadsden flag patch on his backpack, Governor Jared Polis, Democrat, Colorado. See, we don't need to know that. Just tell us this is what the governor's doing there. Hey, I like that guy. That guy's good. Yeah, did you hear he's a Republican? I hate that guy. Forget everything I said about him. We need to stop that. Conservatives on social... Oh, here it is. After being urged to respond to the news that a young student at a Colorado charter school was kicked out of class for having a Gadsden flag patch on his backpack, Governor Jared Polis, Democratic Colorado, took to social media to defend the flag as a proud symbol of the American Revolution. Conservatives on social media replied by urging the governor to do something about the school disciplining the student. Paulus made his comments on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter. It's not going to be formerly. It's always going to be the Sears Tower for me. It's not going to be, I can't even say it. It's always going to be Comiskey Park. I don't even know what it's called now. It's always going to be Bruce Jenner. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I saw a joke there. I just thought that's kind of, something. My mind was working, something that's changed names. Boom. I came up with Bruce Jenner. I'm not a hater. Let's see. I want to give you the exact quote that Governor Paulus said. Here it is. Here's what Democratic Governor Paulus said about the kid being banned from school or kicked out of class for having a Gadsden flag. Paulus posted, obviously, the Gadsden flag is a proud symbol of the American Revolution. I like how he says, obviously, like he's trying to say, there's a problem with this school district if they don't know the origins of the Gadsden flag and they're actually teaching children that it's, or at least of the belief that its origin is from something else. Paulus posted, obviously, the Gadsden flag is a proud symbol of the American Revolution and an iconic warning to Britain or any government not to violate the liberties of Americans. That is exactly what it is. Thank you, Governor. It appears on popular American medallions and challenge coins through today and Ben Franklin. See, this is why I always think of Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin also adopted it to symbolize the union of the 13 colonies. Thank you, Governor Paulus. I don't think I ever even heard of you before now, but okay. If you're a Republican, that doesn't move the needle because I told you he was a Democrat. And if you're a Democrat, I don't know, what are you mad at him? I'm like, I've voted Democrat before. Not mad at him. Oh, God. Here, what else do we have on this story? There was something else. The governor added, it's a great teaching moment for a history lesson we could all use. There you go, Governor Paulus. That's nice. That's good. Come on, man. A round of applause for this dude. Good for him. I mean, he might suck at everything else. I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I just know that if we are looking at that viral video, if we are looking at that as an example of it's either them or us. See, this is why we all have to stick together because they are doing stuff. If it's one of those kind of deals, then you would expect, politically speaking, Governor Paulus to go, there was a great misunderstanding, and somehow hedge it. He didn't. He came flat out and he said, don't be stupid. You people don't know what that flag is, obviously. Let me give you a couple of examples of how that flag has been used. Now, I told you myself that I had that flag when I was in college. It was just wall decoration. It was cool, man. Don't tread on me, mother ever. You know what I mean? In 1982, the 1982 film Tootsie, Bill Murray's character had a Gadsden flag on his wall. Was he some horrid person? No. Because apparently back in 82 Tootsie, back in 82, people still knew that was a good thing. They hadn't allowed a bunch of douchebags running around with it to ruin it for them. In 1985, the film Rocky IV, the character of Paulie wears a Paulie. Jesus, he might be a D-bag. Paulie wears the flag on his back while in Russia. Oh, I didn't see. Oh, wait a second. I am now picturing that. He's got it on his jacket when he's walking Rocky into the ring, right? Isn't that it? How about this use of the Gadsden flag? In the 1995 Simpsons episode, Bart versus Australia, Bart reveals in an act of patriotism the phrase, don't tread on me, written across his buttocks. Yeah, all right, there you go. See, now did people call Fox TV and go, I'm so offended that symbol of slavery and the slave trade was used on The Simpsons? No, because that's a new misperception about this flag. In the 2009 NBC mockumentary sitcom Parks and Recreation, yeah, you knew I was getting to Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson had the Gadsden flag. Now, Ron was an interesting character, but certainly a libertarian. You wouldn't say that Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation is a MAGA guy or an Antifa guy. And I only use those because those are the two extremes of the spectrum. Actually, that's not even true because, isn't that, well, all right, never mind. We're not going to get into that. In the 2020 HBO, The Last of Us, did you guys watch The Last of Us? I only watched like 8 episodes and it lost me. I was like, zombies. Okay, I get it. However, there was an episode in The Last of Us first season starring Nick Offerman, and it might have been the best episode of TV I've ever seen. And this is the episode they're talking about. Again, Nick Offerman. Again, Ron Swanson. Except this time in The Last of Us from this past season. In the 2023 HBO apocalyptic drama series, The Last of Us, Bill, played by Nick Offerman, has a Gadsden flag in his house. All right, so what I'm trying to get through here is that this flag, the Gadsden flag, here, let me, Governor Powles, we don't need you back. Governor Powles, look at him. Big dopey looking mug. Here you go. Yeah. So this flag here, sorry. I was eating dinner when I read this story and I said, I got to get out and do a stream real quick. All right. So this flag right here is what we're talking about. A 12-year-old kid walks into a school in Colorado Springs, Love God School, fancy elitist school, walks at middle school too, by the way. He's 12 years old. Walks in, he's got a backpack with this flag patch on it, and they're like, you can't be here because that's a symbol of slavery and racial oppression. We've just talked about how it's not. We watched the video. We heard from the governor of Colorado, Democratic governor, say, man, don't be stupid. That flag is not a symbol of the slave trade. That flag comes from Ben Franklin and the Revolutionary War and the Continental Congress and Christopher Gadsden, who created it and Billy was a South Carolina delegate to the Continental Congress. It was just a cool ass flag. So please, this kind of stuff has got to stop. We got to stop seeing. Do you know that it seems like any display of patriotism is greeted by half the country with a roll of the eyes? Like, why did we let that happen? Why? I mean, look, hey, I was never like, America, mother ever. I was never like that anyway. But I mean, I love my country. I mean, I don't want to live anywhere else. Maybe Ireland. I could retire in Ireland. But that's, years from now. I mean, I don't want to live anywhere. Why is it that, only, people saying really awful things on social media have, the American flag in their icon? It's like don't give up the flag. Don't give up this flag. Don't give up loving America. Don't give up knowing your history of how amazing our origin story is. That's the American origin story. And it's just, we're not defined. I said earlier, we're not defined by our worst moments. We're not defined by the slave trade. We're not defined by the Civil War. We're not defined by January 6th. We're defined by who we are today. And today, let's say no. Let's take this flag back and stop all the nonsense. Thank you, folks. I'm Pugs Moran, and this has been a very special Gadsden flag rant. Oh, check out the show Monday through Friday at noon. High Noon, the High Noon Report. I run through all the current events, hot topics, all of that stuff. I love you. Bye.